This version of Tolkien's story of Luzbel, the fallen angel, is a key element to understand The Lord of the Rings. Sauron is the incarnation of the devil as the enemy in your life. Despite having been defeated by Jesus' cross and resurrection, Sauron is still permitted to have the power of temptation. Only temptation. So how does this enemy carry out his work of temptation? By means of a weapon through which he can enslave us, the ring. The real work of the enemy begins with a lie. God is not love. God doesn't love you. How could someone who loves us allow people to suffer in 1,000 different ways? How could God love a person who lives like you, with a sick child, or without enough money to make ends meet? Do you know how he managed to make you believe that lie? He showed you your life and told you that it wasn't how it should be. He invited you to rebel, to trade your life for one in which everything finally turns out well. You and I have a very serious problem. We can't bear that reality doesn't coincide with our will because it scares us. This is the ring. The weapon of the enemy is fear, the fear of death that extends to all the things that make you suffer. The ring shows you a life completely different from the one you have. A better life, a life in which you don't suffer. And because we're so afraid of suffering, we build our lives to escape suffering. We escape. We put on the ring. We become invisible. And so the ring becomes our treasure. With it, we believe that we're more intelligent than God because we think he's wrong to allow suffering in our life. This is the weapon of the enemy. Because we fear suffering, we're slaves to the ring and do everything it tells us to do.
Through Rohan over fen and field, where the long grass grows, the west wind comes walking, and about the walls it goes.
Tolkien was sent to war, leaving behind his wife Edith, whom he had just married, and his friends from the TCBS, a student club that he had founded years before with 3 colleagues from the King Edward School in Birmingham. The 4 were exceptional men and firmly believed that their mission was to change the world for the better, igniting a new light and getting closer to God through art and writing, through beauty. The TCBS members were the first to discover Middle-earth, elves, orcs, and Tolkien's poetry. They were all drafted into the war. Thanks to his aptitude for languages, Tolkien served as a signal officer here, in this area of the Somme. Soon he began to suffer from trench fever, a disease transmitted by lice and fleas. Due to this, he had to be evacuated from the front and was left to recover over a long period of time. His colleagues at TCBS were not as lucky. Shortly before his death, Geoffrey Smith, his close friend and member of the TCBS, wrote to Tolkien from the trenches saying, "My dear John, do your best to publish your works. Yes, publish them. I am sure that you are a chosen one, like Paul, among the sons of Israel. Hurry up, before it is your turn to come to this orgy of death and cruelty. May God bless you, my dear John Ronald. Say the things we've tried to express, if it is my destiny not to be here to say them." Geoffrey Smith of the TCBS was killed on December 3rd, 1916.